Hey, what's up gamers? Welcome back to the Gaming Hub, and in today's video, we're talking about Diablo 4. The game is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated releases of the year, but some fans are feeling left out by the current selection of classes. In this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 classes that should be added to Diablo 4. Like many RPGs, Diablo 4 has fans agonizing over the all-too-important question of which class to play. 5 classic Diablo classes will be available to the player at launch: Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue, and Sorcerer. While these are beloved among fans, some players are disappointed by the selection. Few fans are mad about these 5 specific classes, as they have all appeared in Diablo games before. The problem is that there are other classes from the Diablo series that fans would have loved to see available at launch. With 8 classes having been in Diablo and 2 being planned, each of them has a strong argument for inclusion. Now, let's go to the 10 classes we should see in Diablo 4. 10. Cleric. While the Cleric was never playable in any Diablo games, it was planned for one of Diablo 2's expansions and is the name of a specific Paladin build. Even though the Cleric never got the chance to be a standalone class, Diablo 4 would have been the perfect game to bring it to life. The uninitiated would likely dismiss the Cleric as a frail healer unsuited for a game like Diablo. Any Dungeons & Dragons player knows that clerics are righteous warriors who heal with one hand and cave in skulls with the other. This mental image fits in perfectly with Diablo's dark world. A focus on holy magic would also add some variety to Diablo 4's roster. 9. Bard. A popular class in any fantasy setting, bards are natural leaders. More than simple musicians, bards can inspire friends and demoralize foes. Depending on the setting, some bards can even use magic or have combat abilities to make them even deadlier. The Bard was a class planned for the Diablo Hellfire expansion, but it was never officially released. However, the class is playable through the use of modding. With its dual-wielding abilities and magic, the class is warmly regarded by fans who played it. By adding music-based abilities, Diablo 4 could have made this a fresh new option for fans while also acknowledging its past. 8. Monk. Appearing first in the Diablo Hellfire expansion, monks are popular classes who have appeared in Diablo 3 and Diablo Immortal. Playing into the fantasy of fighting a horde of monsters with one's bare hands, monks were mostly unarmed warriors who focused on chaining attacks and skills together. They provided a unique gameplay experience that will be missed in Diablo 4. With the current roster consisting of 3 spellcasters and 2 weapon users, the unarmed monk would have added some variety to Diablo 4. Though the rogue can match the monk's agility, the monk brings martial arts-focused mysticism unmatched by the other class. The monk's serene spirituality would also have been an interesting lens to view Diablo 4's dark story. 7. Amazon. Appearing in Diablo 2, the Amazon is a female warrior who wields spears and bows. She was a versatile class, giving players combat options at any range. While her disappearance from the series may be attributed to classes no longer being restricted by gender, many fans would love to see her return. Diablo 4's roster lacks physical fighters. Players who want to play a weapon-oriented class are restricted to the Barbarian and the Rogue. Adding the Amazon would give players a third option that is visibly distinct from the other two. The focus on spears would give the roster further diversity. 6. Crusader. First appearing in the Reaper of Souls expansion for Diablo 3, the Crusader was an updated version of the popular Paladin class. Wielding a flail, a shield, and holy magic, the Crusader fights at mid to close range. With a focus on both damage and defense, this class is a popular choice. The Crusader embodies an archetype missing from Diablo 4's launch roster, the armored tank. While the Barbarian and Druid have had tank options in the past, the Crusader best embodies the image of a knight in shining armor. Players who want to play out the fantasy of an armored champion standing against the darkness might be disappointed by Diablo 4. 5. Assassin. The Assassin first appeared in the Lord of Destruction expansion for Diablo 2. A high-risk, high-reward class, the Assassin specialized in dealing critical damage as well as using traps. It hasn't appeared in any other Diablo game since, but it's beloved by fans. The Assassin's exclusion from Diablo 4 is probably the most understandable, as it has a lot of overlap with the Rogue. The developers have cited the Assassin as partial inspiration for 4's Rogue. But with the Rogue becoming more of a jack-of-all-trades in this game, it's possible to give the Assassin some tweaks for players seeking a more specialized close-range DPS. 4. Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter first appeared in Diablo 3, and in the demon-infested world of Diablo, they're never short of work. The Demon Hunter excels in dealing damage from a distance by using crossbows and evasive techniques. With this role being a popular one combined with the Demon Hunter's dark aesthetic, it's little wonder this class is popular. Like the Assassin, Diablo 4's Rogue has incorporated parts of the Demon Hunter into a more balanced class. Even with the Rogue being able to emulate the Demon Hunter, fans of the class may be disappointed by the lack of a specialization. By making improvements, the developers could make a more long-range oriented class for Demon Hunter fans. 3. Warrior. One of the 3 playable classes in the original Diablo, the Warrior is the only one who hasn't appeared in any subsequent games. This is likely due to being replaced by the more exciting Barbarian. While the classes do see a lot of overlap, there is still a case to be made for the Warrior's return. With the Barbarian being focused on rage and the Crusaders and Paladins loyal to their holy disciplines, the Warrior offers players a third, more straightforward path. By eschewing the extravagancies of other melee-focused classes, the Warrior can be a class for players who just want to hit the enemy hard. By focusing solely on heavy weapons and armor, this class could fulfill many fantasies. 2. Witch Doctor. Though it did overlap with the Necromancer, the Witch Doctor's aesthetic style made it unique in Diablo. By summoning toads and using voodoo magic, the Witch Doctor had a style all its own. By reworking the class abilities, the developers could turn the Witch Doctor into something truly wonderful. 1. Paladin. Making its debut in Diablo 2, the Paladin is one of the most in-demand classes for Diablo 4. An armor-clad holy warrior, the Paladin was a highly adaptable class capable of both offense and defense. Though ultimately replaced by the Crusader, the Paladin is a fan favorite that needs to return. Like the Crusader, the Paladin neatly fills in the tank-shaped hole of Diablo 4's roster. Unlike the Crusader, the Paladin leans more toward defense. With more protective skills at the Paladin's disposal, this class is the perfect solution for players looking for more of a tank in their journey into Sanctuary.